Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valor campaign in Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth, and Lord willing, it can be edifying. And I want to share a quick dream testimony I had. All right. As well as it was a video that a brother did last night about these demons. All right, these demons are trying to find any type of entry point, all right, to you, and this is why, you know, as followers of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, we must continue to fortify our minds and really, you know, gird up, man. All right, it's simple. We got to gird up, as I'm gonna bring out in Ephesians chapter 6. But I had a quick dream last night, actually, that concerning this chick, Marina Abramovich. All right, this spirit cooking chick, man. All right, if you don't know who that is, you know, look it up. All right, she's heavily, you know, around the rap industry and, you know, celebrities and Hollywood and shit like that. You know, those type of people. All right, and their enchantments are failing. All right, so real quick, getting into the dream, basically it was going into, you know, it wasn't a whole lot. Like, it wasn't really, it was a very small dream. All right, it wasn't very long or anything. But I remember specifically seeing Marina Abramovich. All right, and best believe, man, they're trying to send enchantments on brothers. You know, they know who, but these demons know who brothers are. You know, there's different accounts on that. You know, like the account where, you know, that spirit was like, hey, you know, like, you know, Yahweh Shai, I know, Paul, I know, but who are you? Showing you that these spirits know, they know who the men of the Lord are. All right, and they can't get to us, man, if we fortify our minds. They can't get to us if we're of the elect. All right, they can't get to us if we're men of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and these demons try to find any way to infiltrate. All right, through your woman, through your, you know, your children, through your job, you know, and your own mind. All right, your own mind. We're in a time where, you know, everything, you go on social media, all these women just popping their ass. You know, these 1948ers have pushed pornography to the forefront. All right, all these women are selling themselves, showing themselves, man. You know, so it is easy for you to slip. All right, but we in the time we have to fortify our minds, and you know, that goes to myself first and foremost. And when you do that, man, hey, you know, they can't get to you. All right, so going back to the dream, it was just Marina Abramovich, and she was like on her knees. All right, she was on her knees, and she was in distress, and she had like a wig or weave like a damn nigga woman. All right, she had weave like a nigga woman, and the weave was like being peeled back. All right, now I don't know exactly what that means, but I could tell she was in distress. You know, and what I perceive that as, you know, it could be a couple different things. But what I perceive it as is, you know, they're trying to send these enchantments, and their enchantments are starting to fail them. All right, if you're looking at the worldwide stage, you know, the covering cast that Babylon had on the world is starting to be lifted. You know, you got China during this trade war. They're about to start blocking these Hollywood movies in their country, which is good because it's nothing but filth. All right, and they push an agenda. All right, and people are waking up. That covering cast over the whole earth is being lifted. All right, and truth is being declared. So what does that mean for us? All right, hey, the Lord is going to exalt us, you know, above these fucking people, because we're the ones that are actually serving Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and it's not going to be for us to boast in ourselves, because we will be exalted because we exalt Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, we don't boast in ourselves. We're not prideful. The Lord said he hates a proud look. But these people, all right, especially these left-handed, you know, witches and warlocks and shit, all right, because these rappers and these, you know, guys that are successful and shit, they're nothing but witches and fucking warlocks, man. You know, you can look up that chick, Marina Abramovich. You know, you're going to see her in pictures with, like, A$AP Rocky, Jay-Z and shit. All right, all these people that Jake has held in high esteem. All right, but these enchantments are failing. They're failing. They're not going to work on the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They're not going to work on the Lord's elect if you fortify your mind. So yeah, that was a dream I had. So it, Spirit got me going into this. But yeah, she was on her knees. She was in distress. She was fucked up, man. She was fucked up. So let's get into this. This is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. All right, we have to trust in the Lord with all our heart, our mind, and lean not into our own understanding. All right, the Lord is a million times steps ahead of us. All right, the Lord has declared the end from the beginning. He knows how every one of our days is going to go, how our path is going to look, and how the Lord is going to deliver us. He knows if we're of the elect or not. We don't know that. We say, Lord willing. So we have to be strong in the Lord. Verse 11, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. You got to, hey, are we not soldiers? And soldiers got, the ancient, the old knights and stuff, they wore armor. And you had to make sure you didn't have any chinks in your armor, or you could be, the enemy could penetrate with their weapon. All right, but we know the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. All right, everything starts in the spiritual, and then it's manifested in the physical. When people be acting all rowdy and shit like that, man, those are demons. That is the spiritual controlling the physical. All right, so best believe you have on the left-hand side, all these enchantments in the movies and the music, even in the social media. All right, they call it media. These bitches be having tarot cards and all that shit, man. All right. That Shira 7 bitch, she's a witch. All right, she's a fucking witch, and she's trying to tell women to finesse men and get over on men and just got a covetous spirit. Go with whoever have some money, but all money ain't good money, man. All money isn't good money. So we have to put on the whole armor of the Most High, man. Verse 12, it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, as it's going to say, yeah. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. All right? That Marina Abramovich bitch, she's very tied in to that left-handed, satanic-ass world that's dead set against us. And I don't know how close she is to the elites, but hey, the elites might be dealing with her on some form. Because they take counsel from Satan. All right, these elites, they worship Satan, but you done fucked up. Because guess who Satan worships? Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right? So we got the dominion over Satan, man. As heirs and joint heirs with Yahweh Shai Mashiach, Lord willing, we be of that fold. All right, you gotta believe that, man. We in a spiritual war right now. We're in a spiritual war. It says, I'm going to read verse 12 again. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, right, which we're fastly approaching, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. And that's what we're doing in this walk. All right. Us being, spiritual, us being in this faith, us being diligent. All right. You're naturally going to put on the whole armor of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Verse 16, above all, taking the shield of faith. All right. It starts with that faith, man. That faith is our shield. It says, wherewith ye are able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. All right, and who's the wicked? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, but you also got wicked ass people in general. Verse 17, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. This is our weapon, man. This word is our weapon. All right, at Hebrews 4 and 12. I'm going to get that next. Verse 18, it says, praying always with all prayer and supplications in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplications for all saints. So let's grab this real quick. All right, because this is, that's why when these devils try to come up, or when people try to come up, they want to get us out of going into the scriptures. All right, and we're not going to do that. If you don't speak according to this word, there's no light in you. And these Christians ultimately don't have, they don't got the Spirit, man. You know, you see, they don't even bring out John 3:16 no more. They didn't already went into the Greek, and they see it says cosmos, and they know that doesn't apply to everybody. So now they come in, they're trying to take different routes. This is Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. See, these are our weapons right here. All right, this word. It says, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit. All right, didn't I mention that this is, hey, we're in a spiritual battle. It starts in the spirit, in the spirit, and then it manifests in the physical. It says, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart, meaning your mind. It's going to expose how you truly fucking feel, man, when this word comes out. It says in Jeremiah that the Lord would make the words in our mouth fire, and this people would, and it would devour them. So we don't have to step up. We don't have to stoop down to that level. We don't have to be carnal. All right, because we're not carnal. We're spiritual men. And our weapons are spiritual. All right, and we pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for that hedge of protection. Hey, go to the account of Job. Job had all that substance and everything because the Lord was protecting his substance. All right, it wasn't until that bet was made with Satan, and Satan said, remove that hedge, showing you that he had a hedge of protection over him. Just like we have a hedge of protection over us, man, protecting us. And we don't even know on a day-to-day basis what the Lord is protecting us from, man. How people think about us, what people want to try to do to us. But you can't do shit to us that the Lord does not allow, man. We got this truth. We got it all. We have everything, man. We have all the tools that we need. Therefore, we don't have to do all the extra. We don't have to be extra, man. The Lord said, preach his word. That's all we got to do. Feed the Lord's sheep. Preach his word, man. Stay in the word. When you try to get out of the word, that's when your ass don't have that covering, man. You don't have that hedge. But if you stay in the word, you always will be protected, man. So I just want to share that through the Spirit. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till the next time, Shalom.